I'll ask Karen Cordia. Minister, you'll know that the announcement of any job losses in any part of the country would be particularly devastating at this time of year. And you'll know that last week 440 jobs were the potential of the loss of 440 jobs in the Viatris plant in Baldoyle was announced last Friday. So obviously this is a devastating blow to the workers and their families at this time of year. This is a process that the company is going to engage in over the next 2 years. So it's something that I feel strongly that the department and yourself and the Taoiseach can play a positive role in reassuring the workers that their statutory entitlements will obviously be forthcoming, but that the government will work with the company to ensure that fair play is done by these workers, but also to offer new employment opportunities for those greatly affected by this announcement. An announcement like this is no different to any other job loss announcement anywhere else in the country, and should be treated by the government and by the department in the exact same manner. 440 jobs is 440 people, it's 440 families. And I'm sure you'll agree with me that the timing of this announcement could really have happened, it could not have happened at a worse time coming into the Christmas period. So Minister, I've written to the Taoiseach to seek a meeting with him. I've also written to the company themselves. I think there's an opportunity for us to step into this space and to provide solutions, to provide leadership and to provide comfort for those affected. I'm unsure as to whether there is a representative body for the workers. I'm not sure if there is trade union representation of those workers. I'm yet to find that out. If there is, obviously we want to engage with that trade union. If there isn't, well then obviously it's much more important for political representatives to do what they absolutely can for the workers affected. So Minister, I know you'll agree with pretty much everything that I'm saying, but what I want to ensure is that we can start a process to help these workers through this period over the next 2 years, so that the potential for that site can be maximised, so that the area doesn't lose out from this announcement in the long term, and that this may just be a fork in the road for these 440 workers and their families, rather than a devastating blow from which they never recover. So with that, I'd appreciate your response.
Last Concordia deputies, I'd like to begin by stating this is really devastating news for those working in Viatris and their families. It has been an exceptionally difficult year for everyone, and this will come as another blow, especially so close to Christmas. Although I am assured that there is no immediate reductions and the majority of the workforce will continue to be employed until late 2022, this is at least some small comfort on a dark day for the employees. I understand that this development is not related to COVID-19, but instead related to a global restructuring of the company. Neither the Government nor IDA Ireland had advance notice of this decision. However, Viatris has stated that it remains fully committed to Ireland, and even after the announcement, the company will continue to employ more than 1,400 in Galway, Dublin and Cork. The Government will make all necessary state assistance available to the workers, and we will work across Government to help all workers to find new jobs and education and training opportunities when the redundancies are made. I understand that the company will be offering their staff enhanced redundancy and have committed to working with the IDA to find an alternative for the site. The IDA is in close and regular contact with the company and will work with them to market the site to other investors. I am very aware of how challenging a time it is for workers and how worried many people are about their future and the uncertainties that exist. However, as difficult as it is to appreciate now, Ireland is in a very strong position to recover, and we will continue to work to attract new investment and new opportunities. It is obviously difficult to speak about positives at a time when workers have just discovered that they are to lose their jobs. However, the pharma sector is continuing to grow and expand, and we have good reason to be confident that those affected will find employment opportunities with other companies in the sector. While there are many challenges facing us in the current climate, and global competition for foreign direct investment is intensifying, the IDA's results for the last 6 months of the year demonstrate the resilience of our foreign direct investment base. The agency has secured over 130 investments to date in 2020, which has the potential to create almost 10,000 jobs, with 53 investments from companies investing in Ireland for the first time. Full figures for the year will be available early next month. Overseas companies continue, the evidence would suggest, to value our FDI strengths. These include our talented and flexible workforce, a track record as a successful home to global business, and a hard-won reputation as a pro-enterprise jurisdiction. Our continued commitment to the European Union, the single market and the Eurozone, as well as to free trade and multilateralism, and other key selling points that help us convince multinational companies to establish operations and create jobs here. We will continue to work to attract new investments and new opportunities in the period ahead, and I will certainly give Deputy Ó Ríordáin assurances that I will relate the points that he has raised here this evening to my colleague and Senior Minister Taoiseach Varadkar.
Ó Ríordáin.
Yeah, I'll ask and I'd appreciate a copy of the response if that was possible. Minister, I appreciate your reply. I find it, I don't in any way think that this situation is a reflection of on your department or on government at all. I think it's particularly bad form for the company not to have communicated this decision to the IDA or to your department before making it, and of course the timing is bad form as well. So on that basis, we've gotten on to a very poor start in terms of our relationship with this entity. But I would appeal to you again, Minister, that this is something I think we can work together on. I would ask that maybe in the new year when we convene, seeing that this is going to be a 2-year process, that all of the local elected representatives could meet with yourself and maybe with the Taoiseach just to get a continuum of a relationship built up over a period of time to ensure that we can do our best for these families, and also to lay down the template. Because if this happens again, we want to be sure that we have a template in place to refer to. You've mentioned retraining, you've mentioned education, and I appreciate that, Minister. So I'd hope you'd take that call in good faith, that we could work together, that perhaps in the new year we could set up a meeting for all the local deputies and with your department officials, officials from the Department of Social Protection as well, who'll be heavily engaged in this to ensure that everything has been done, that any communications that we're getting from the workers or their families can be relayed to your department as well, anything that may have been missed, and also to ensure that over the coming 2 years that this, as I say, is in the fullness of time seen to be a fork in the road and not a full stop for any family. So I do appreciate your engagement, Minister, but I hope that this engagement can continue.
Thank you, Deputy. Minister.
Thank you, Laskin Corley, and I want to thank the Deputy for raising this issue today. I very much share your concern about the impact of the announcement, both on the staff and the local community, and indeed the manner in which the announcement was made. I want to confirm that IDA Ireland are already seeking a buyer for the company's site, and I would be optimistic, given its location, infrastructure and connectivity, that it will prove appealing to companies looking to locate or expand here. I've asked the IDA to keep me regularly updated on their progress in finding a new buyer. We are going through a period of unprecedented uncertainty, and Ireland's economy, as we know it, is outward-facing, export-orientated and reliant to a large degree on global FDI. This means when a multinational company makes decisions about its operations, we can unfortunately feel the impact here. The IDA has had another year of strong growth in 2019, with record levels of employment and investment. So as difficult as it may be appreciated right now, we have reason to be confident that even in the current climate, new employment opportunities can be found. And I said I want to reiterate again that the IDA is committed to this site, that they have already embarked on marketing this site to find an alternative. And I'm very happy to talk to the Taoiseach about coming together, both him and I, and indeed all the local members of our representatives from that particular constituency to look at how we can work together in the new year to support seeking alternatives for the employees. And I do say again, our thoughts are very much with them. It's an awful thing to hear at any time, but particularly in the weeks leading up to Christmas. And with the forbearance of the Alaska and Corla, I hope you won't get too annoyed, but I think this is it's my favourite time of the year, the festive period, and I just would like to wish my colleagues, both in government and opposition, very happy Christmas, and all the staff. And I do hope people do get an opportunity to spend some quality time with their loved ones over the coming days. Thank you.